Good afternoon, friends. I am Brigadier Vivek, advocate and a consumer activist. How does the timeshare industry work? The company running the timeshare resorts, let us say it has got 100 rooms spread all over. They have got 10 rooms in Kashmir, they have got 30 rooms in Darjeeling, they have got, let's say, 15 rooms in Kerala, and so on. In a year, there are only 52 weeks. And if they make a commitment of 1 week to every member, they can sell the membership only to 52 into 100. That is 5,200 members. So that is the peak of the occupancy which they reach. They are getting the entire amount upfront from all these 5,200 members. Every quarter, when the results are declared, the CEO of Mahindra Holidays, Kavinder Singh, comes on the national television and he talks about how the company is doing.
While your room to member ratio improved from 58 to 57, members who join should get rooms. I mean, that's the biggest grouse that a lot of members have in Mahindra Holidays, and which is what explains the kind of occupancies that you have as well. What is your target here? At what level will you be satisfied? I mean, is it 60, 65, 70, or are you looking at a much lower number, say 35, 40?
The way to look at the overall rooms that we have now about 5,000, roughly 4,940 rooms. We have 282,000 members, and when we do a simple member to room ratio, you'll notice that it has become better at 57. And, despite that, our occupancies were 84%, which means rooms are available at any given point of time to all the members. Yes, sometimes the rooms may not be available in a particular resort, in a particular date, and you may not be even eligible because you may not even be coming in your season. So at an overall level, what we track is that do we have sufficient inventory to satisfy our member demand, which is rising. And I think 84% occupancy gives us significant headroom considering that we now have 4,940 rooms. And we believe that the way we have actually used the power of digital and analytics, and the moment a member comes into the website, there is always availability shown that what is available in the next 15 days, 30 days, and 45 days. We used to be at once upon a time at 69:1, which was bad in my view, because that creates lesser opportunities for members to get the bookings. And now we are at 57. Everybody doesn't holiday at the same time, and they don't holiday every year because they do try to sort of bunch together sometimes. So I think we are already in a very, very good spot in terms of member to room ratio.
The ratio of the rooms vis-a-vis the members. What should be the ideal ratio? The ideal ratio or the max ratio is 52. If there are 100 rooms, it is non-negotiable that there will be only 52 weeks in a year. And it's very unlikely that your rooms will be available right throughout the year. Definitely they will be down for 1 to 2 weeks for maintenance. Let's assume that rooms are available for allotment round the year. Still, with 100 rooms, you can sell the membership only to 5,200 members. Thus, if you divide the total members by the total rooms, you get a ratio of 52, which is the max ratio, and which should not exceed in any case. It can be lower than this. But at one point in time, he says that their ratio has improved from 58 to 57. Oh, what a fantastic improvement of 1%. And Mr. Kavinder Singh also admits that at some point in time, this very ratio was as high as 69. So this is most interesting that they continued to do business when adequate room inventory was not available to be allotted to the members. So what were they required to do? They were required to hire rooms from outside and allot it to the members. If they say that the occupancy has not crossed 85%, how does it justify the waiting list which you see on the website? Ask any member today. The bookings open on 1st and 2nd of the month. Before you have got up at 6 o'clock in the morning and logged in, you already see a waiting list. Believe you me, it's worse than Tatkal bookings. If the occupancy is only 85%, how is this waiting list being justified? It is very obvious, even a child will tell you that the entire inventory is not being offered for bookings.
As far as the margins go, in our business, there are two things that we must keep in mind. When we drive customer acquisition, that our revenue gets pushed into the future. By the way, we added 144 crores to the deferred revenue for the full year basis, which means we pulled out lesser and we put in more, which is by about 244 crores. So our deferred revenue is growing, which means our balance sheet is getting stronger, which means more income in the future, more profits in the future. But however, what it does is that when you are going after the member additions, you could see lower profits or lower margins because your cost is loaded up front, but the revenue gets pushed into the future. But the other area where we do see sometimes, and this I'm talking about the PBT margin level, not at the EBITDA margin level, where when we accelerate our inventory additions, you do see the depreciation and financing costs coming in.
You heard Mr. Kavinder Singh talking about the recognition of revenue. So what has happened? When a member has joined today, let's say today is 2023, he has joined today and he has paid you 25 years money in advance. So money for the next 24 years is kept with them and is being booked as and when the room is given to him. Right? So far so good. But what is he concealing here? Here what the company is doing is, the company is not talking about the rooms which have been already allotted to non-members. They are earning money from the member also. They are earning money from the non-member also. And then the member waits for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, and the third year when he is not again able to get a room of his choice, he has to perforce surrender his inventory. And in such an occasion, how they are booking the revenue when the services have not been given? This is $1 million question which even the NFRA has asked them, and they are not able to answer the NFRA. The NFRA has given them 4 months to correct their accounts, and let's see what kind of correction they are going to do in the financials. And another thing which I think most of our so-called mutual fund pundits and analysts have missed, the financials which have been projected are entirely faulty. They give a totally false picture about the financials of the company. The only income to the company is from the members. And if you are simply collecting money on account of maintenance and diverting it into your regular profits, you know what kind of financials they have presented. So this is as regards the deferred recognition of revenue.
And well, your occupancy, I think, for the past quarter was in the vicinity of around 84%. So could you tell us what's the number you're looking at going ahead? That's point number one. And member additions, what's the target? Where do you end FY24 at?
All right. So the good part is that this occupancy that we delivered on 84% is on the back of about 1,200 rooms that we added over the last 2.5 years. So we have been brisker in our room additions. We are closing the year at 4,940 rooms. And despite that, the occupancy was 84%. As we keep moving ahead, the rooms will keep coming in. And we are looking at April, May, June occupancies upwards of 85%.
He says that the occupancy has reached 80 to 85%. And that is how he justifies and says that they have got adequate rooms for all the members. But what is he not telling you? First of all, what is the relevance of occupancy in a timeshare industry? Occupancy has relevance when people are paying upfront and booking the tickets. You go to a movie hall today. The movie hall has got, let us say, 400 seats. If 300 seats are sold out, the occupancy is 75%. If the company goes up, if the movie hall goes up from 75% to 90%, they'll make more profit. They sell out 90% of seats. They'll earn obviously more revenue. But here what is happening? The entire room inventory is already sold out, prepaid. Whether the room is occupied or whether the room is vacant. Mahindra Holidays has already got its share of revenue when the member has paid them upfront for the next 25 years, not 1 or 2, but 25 years. He has already paid them, and occupancy has got no relevance whatsoever.
All right. Just wanted some color on your member additions itself. 5,100 members you added in the fourth quarter. How much of that was, renewal? What was the renewal rate on that? What was the membership breakup across tiers? You have a lower tier, mid-tier, premium membership, etc. as well. And what proportion of members currently come up for renewal in the next 4 quarters?
All right. In our business, as you know, that we are different from traditional hospitality business. We have about 282,000 members. So in our case, every year the annual fee becomes due. And different members, since they join at different periods of time, their annual fee becomes due at different points of time. So in terms of, we do not use the word renewal. We do see how many people are paying us the annual fee. Obviously, because you've seen the annual ASF income, which is also grown at a year level by about 17-18%. So we are seeing momentum in the annual fee collections as well. If I were to look at the overall numbers that we have delivered and the breakup there, the annual average unit realization, you may have noticed, has already gone up to 4.2 lakhs versus 3.4 last year, which means the mix is moving towards higher and middle tenure memberships. Of course, we do target millennials through the lower tenure memberships. So this average unit realization also includes a very significant momentum that we got in upgrades, which has gone up by 71%.
Now, mind you, what is ASF? ASF is annual subscription fees, which the company collects with a promise that it will be spent only on maintenance. How is it a revenue? If you have collected some money to maintain your own resorts, you have not specified that it's an activity for profit. You have not specified what is the profit margin you are going to charge. You are simply hiring some people, paying them and getting the services done and getting your rooms maintained. But on the other hand, Mr. Kavinder Singh goes on to say that they look at it as a revenue stream. No wonder the National Financial Reporting Authority has ticked them off and says that this has to be accounted for separately. And they have no right whatsoever to collect money from the members and convert it into profits rather than expending it on maintenance activities. Collecting funds under the garb of maintenance and diverting it as their own profits. More about this as we go forward. Keep watching out this space for further developments in this regard. Thank you so much. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.